It's Friday, May 8th, 2026, and you're listening to Blue Lightning Daily, where today's episode was assembled by a bunch of AIs in a trench coat pretending to be a production team. I'm Hunter.
And I'm Riley. And if the bots mispronounced something today, no, they didn't. That's creative intention.
Exactly. All right, headline. Adobe is trying to turn Acrobat from that PDF thing into a full-on content pipeline with PDF spaces and this new Acrobat productivity agent.
Which is wild, because Acrobat has always been where documents go to nap. Like you open a PDF and it's basically a museum exhibit. Do not touch.
Yes, and Adobe's pitch is, stop treating PDFs like dead ends. Put them in a shared workspace called a space along with links, notes, supporting docs, and then the agent can summarize, answer questions across the whole bundle, and generate stuff like slides, social drafts, and even audio-style overviews.
The audio overview thing is sneaky. Listen to the doc sounds like a joke until you're trying to get approvals at midnight and your brain refuses to read one more paragraph of corporate mythology.
Totally. And the spaces concept is basically one link, one context. Instead of someone slacking you final IFL v12.pdf, you share the space and everyone's seeing the same set, supposedly less chaos.
Supposedly, because every shared workspace on Earth eventually becomes a junk drawer, Notion, Drive, Slack channels named EMEANISC. I believe in your dream, Adobe, but I've met humans.
That's the first place this goes wrong, right? Organization hygiene. Because Adobe even says you can organize up to 100 files in a space, and my immediate thought was, cool, so we can build a 100-file trash pile with citations.
Wait, hold up. Did you say citations? Because that's the part I care about. If it's summarizing across multiple PDFs, I need receipts. I do not want an AI doing a confident mashup of 3 conflicting documents and then I'm the one getting cooked in the comments.
Adobe's been leaning hard into grounding and citations in their document AI, so best case, the agent can point to where it got a claim. But you're still the adult in the room. If the space includes conflicting info, the agent might average reality.
So who owns the truth when it summarizes 3 contradictory PDFs?
The poor intern with the citations, Riley. It's always the poor intern.
No, don't do that to them. But seriously, this is where creators have to have a workflow. Like, which doc is the source of truth has to be decided before you ask the robot to make slides.
Yeah, I think the realistic win here isn't Acrobat replaces 5 apps, it's Acrobat replaces the most annoying step, which is copying content out of PDFs into a chat tool, then reformatting, then sending it to someone, then losing context, then doing it again.
Okay, but let's pressure test that. What's the actual use case where this doesn't just become a 6th tab?
I've got one. Imagine you're a marketing team launching a product. You've got the messaging doc, a legal approved claim sheet, a research report, and a partner brief. You put all of that into a space. Then you tell the agent, draft a slide outline for an internal enablement deck, plus social copy options that only use claims that appear in the claim sheet, and give me a short audio overview for the exec who doesn't read.
That's the first time PDF has sounded like a content engine instead of a punishment.
Right. And since it's a shared space, someone can come in later and ask, what are the key differentiators, without you doing the whole backstory again. That's the vibe, less context switch.
This is also Adobe's whole strategy lately. Like Firefly got Kling inside it, so AI video becomes a normal Creative Cloud step. Photoshop keeps shipping these practical upgrades, rotate object, better generative fill stuff that makes the boring parts faster. Now Acrobat's trying to do the same, move AI into the messy middle.
Yes. And zooming out, the ecosystem is kind of converging on this idea. Stop being a chatbot, start being a workspace. Google did it with Gemini Canvas, artifacts you can share and remix. OpenAI just made GPT-5 Estikey default in ChatGPT, and the whole point was fewer hallucinations and cleaner output so you can use it in production without babysitting.
Which is hilarious because Adobe's like, put the AI in the PDF room, and OpenAI's like, no, just make the default bot less chaotic. Everybody's trying to solve the same thing, getting creators from info to publishable assets without the tool hopping tax.
Exactly. But okay, where do you think Acrobat's agent fails first? Brand voice, formatting, or spaces becoming a junk drawer?
Oof. Brand voice. It's always brand voice. Because the agent can read your docs, sure, but it still loves turning everything into corporate smoothie, like exciting synergy, unlock value, dynamic solutions.
The blandification curse.
Yup. And second is formatting. Because PowerPoint crimes are a real genre. If it generates slides, I'm expecting at least one slide that's just 6 paragraphs and a dream.
As a designer, I feel attacked, but you're right. Slides need taste. An agent can outline, but layout is where humans earn their keep.
So let's give people the trust but verify checklist that doesn't kill the time savings. What do you do before you post the agent's output?
I keep it tight. First, scan for claims. Anything that sounds like a fact, a number, a quote, or a promise. Second, check the citations. Does it actually point to the right source inside the space? Third, check tone. Is it in brand voice, or does it sound like it's applying for a job at a bank? Fourth, check for omissions. What did it not include that matters? Agents love summarizing away the one detail legal cares about.
Okay, I like that. Mine is more feral. I read the output and ask, what would the meanest commenter on TikTok dunk on? If I can predict the dunk, I fix it.
That is actually a fantastic QA method.
Thank you. Fear is a feature. Also, if the space has multiple docs, I'd ask the agent to list contradictions. Like, hey, do any of these files disagree on pricing, dates, specs? Make the AI snitch on the mess before you publish the mess.
That's smart. Use it as a conflict detector, not just a summarizer.
Now, if Acrobat can generate slides, social copy, and audio overviews from the same doc pile, what's the new bottleneck?
Approvals. Always approvals. You can automate drafting all day, but if legal and brand review take a week, the machine just helped you create a bigger waiting room.
Yes, and also taste. Like, we can generate 100 options, but picking the right 10 still needs a human who understands the audience and the moment.
And that's where I actually like Adobe's role-based assistance idea in Spaces. If you can set a role like analyst or instructor or a custom assistant, you can nudge the output toward what a stakeholder needs. Not perfect, but better than generic.
But only if teams use it. Otherwise, it's just another feature that exists in a menu, like the treadmill in your apartment gym.
Oof, accurate.
One more thing. Who is this actually for? Because I can see enterprise teams loving Spaces. But does a solo creator care?
Yeah, if you're solo and you live in PDFs, brand deals, contracts, research, sponsor briefs, this could be huge. Especially the audio overview for speedrunning a doc, but I think the sweet spot is small teams and agencies where the pain is handoffs.
Yeah, like when you're onboarding a freelancer mid-project and instead of a 5-page Slack message, you just say, here's the space, ask it what you need. That's clean.
Exactly. But also, Acrobat AI plans. This isn't free forever. Access depends on what plan you're on, region, language, classic reality check.
Which means, test it. Don't redesign your whole workflow around it on day one.
That's the Blue Lightning way. All right, quick meme caption for this update.
PDFs are no longer sleeping, they're employed.
Mine is, final IFL v12.pdf just gained opinions.